Everybody?
Clink, clink, clink.
Blink.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Feng Shui Friday.
Yay!
Woohoo! Who's joining us today? Let's see if there's anybody out there today. Good morning. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get their coffee because we are on a new time slot.
New time slot. Yeah, for the summer, and we'll see how it works.
And so for any of you that are just joining us for the first time or, listening to this in the future, we are Feng Shui with Anita and
Cheryl.
I never know which way to point.
Depends how you're looking at it. Right now, if I say Anita, I'm pointed that way.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we hop on here every Friday and we do, we learn to use the F word.
Exactly.
And of course, that's, Feng Shui, of course. And so we decided to do this new thing. So every, the first, no.
Friday. Yeah, first Friday.
I was going to say the last, but the first Friday of every month, we are going to do a card reading. And so if anybody's ever done, anything with oracle cards, angel cards, that sort of thing, and you kind of, draw a card for the day or get a message, that's kind of the thing that we're going to do here today. And
we're going to use a different deck though.
Oh, right? We're going to use our Feng Shui personal paradise cards from Terah Kathryn Collins.
Woo!
And so how this kind of came about was really, we just finished doing a 21-day decluttering challenge. And Feng Shui, for the most part, people might think, oh, it's the art of placement. It's about moving your furniture around, creating chi flow.
Which is true.
And it certainly is about those things. However, it's also about having harmony and balance between our inner world, outer world. And so if you look at the symbol, the yin yang symbol, the male and female energies. And so, that symbol itself shows us balance and it shows us, these opposites. And so it also does represent that inner world, which is our thoughts, emotions, feelings, past experiences, those kind of things, and how it's then connected or integrated with the unseen
outer
world, right?
Yep.
So we thought we'd give you some insight. So let's just see here, Cheryl, just let me go over here, see if there's anybody live and that would like to have a card reading. Hello, anybody want a card reading this morning?
And you know what? It is the first time anyway, so we really could show them what this looks like on ourselves.
That's right. Let's do that. Okay.
Because it's the first time we're doing this and it could be,
right.
Some people may not want to know about their inner world.
Oh yeah, this is true. Okay.
So it really isn't all that scary.
It's
so why don't you lead us, Anita? Let's do one on me.
Okay, and then okay. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm just going to take a few moments here.
While she's doing that, what she is doing, I'll explain, is she's shuffling the deck, right? We showed you the deck, Paradise cards. She's tapping in and connecting with her guides. We've already cleared and sealed the space. So that only messages that are relevant come through for the highest good of the person. Right? If you're receiving messages sometimes that are not integral, you'll know it. Your soul really does know when it's connected. It knows the truth. It knows integrity. So there's nothing actually to be scared of. Because really, when you hear the message, typically you'll just go, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So.
Okay. We're going to find out what Cheryl needs to know today. Okay. Okay, so I got the card deck in 3 piles, and I'm choosing 3 cards. Okay. Now, the 3 cards for Cheryl are, and I'll just show you so you know, just so we can see. They are living room, water features, and wind dancers.
Nice.
So let's start with the wind. Okay. So the wind, again, represents that unseen energy. And the wind creates movement. And so in these last few days, we've had a heat wave. And so the wind is welcoming
Oh, yes.
to cool us off, to, you know, take us to another level per se. And so that soft breeze feels gentle and beautiful and warming, but then sometimes the wind also can, you know, blow in very quickly and blow in a storm. And it also has the ability to blow the storm out. Okay. So there's I'm going to suggest that, you know, for you, Cheryl, to be really aware of that unseen energy in your life and what's showing up for that wind. You know, is the wind in your home or in your, you know, inner world in your life right now? Is it a soft, gentle breeze, or is it, you know, blowing in the storm? And just be aware that whichever it is, that it can shift, right? It has the ability to just and take all that away or blow it away, right? And then the other card that came up for you, water features. And so this is really interesting because, you know, this is the wind and the water.
Water.
This is
Feng
the
Shui.
Feng Shui, right? This truly is the Feng Shui.
That's
right?
perfect.
It is. And so then it's knowing that inner world, that those whatever those thoughts, emotions, experiences that are happening right now in your life, that, you know, the tangible representation of that, again, you know, water has the ability, that tangible aspect, to take it away, to let it flow, just go with the flow, and just, you know, staying balanced and present and all of those kind of things. And then the other card that came up for you is the living room. And you know, this, you know, again, is really interesting because the living room typically in our home is the hub. It's a central place where people can come together and relax, or, you know, this is where you know, can read a book, or, you know, just chill out and watch TV and just let things just disappear from your mind, right? And so again, this card could be showing up for you today, Cheryl, to remind you to take some self-time, some self-care. You know, surround yourself with some of those people or those experiences that just help you to, you know, just do something different, right? So yeah, that's
cool.
That's it. That's pretty
Yay.
easy peasy, right?
It is.
That didn't hurt at all, did it?
No, it didn't. Actually, it was quite entertaining because.
Now, did it give you some insight?
Well, what I got out of that is there is lots of shifts in energy going on in my personal world, inner world, as well as our family. Right? There's changes going. Again, with this heat, I've spent quite a bit of time trying to cool the energy off in our living room, trying to get the air moving. And it's our living room is where I meditate. I do spend a lot of personal time there. It's also in need of a little bit of attention, and our living room is close to the career area. So
Oh, well, there we are.
yeah,
Isn't
it
that?
all just kind of flows with what's going on internally and externally in my life right now.
Okay.
So it's
I
perfect.
love, yeah, I love that. I love it.
There are
Okay.
there are no, what do
There
you
are
say?
no
Coinky
coinky
dinky.
dinks. Coinky dinks. No. That's what our friend Lee Carroll says.
Yeah, exactly. So are we going to do our usual card for the day and have a conversation around that, or would you like me to do one for you?
I think you should do one for me because we said we were
Okie
going to do
dokie.
two. And, as people are a little shy this morning, or
Mhm.
maybe not waking up or sleeping in because
Or
they're
actually the
cooling
house
off.
is finally cooled off. And it's been hot here and people are going to watch this later. It's really interesting to me what's come up for me this week with the heat is the varying perspectives. So our neighbors have a home down in Texas. So this heat, they're like, oh well, this is what we cherish during the winter. And I said that to my spouse one day. I said, really, if we were on a vacation that we'd pay thousands of dollars to go to, this is the weather we'd want to go to. But it's happening here at home. So it's so different how the temperature can be the same, the humidity can be the same in two locations.
Yep.
What we're doing in it
Exactly.
creates
Yeah.
our perspective.
hmm
So I just found that quite fascinating this week.
But you're absolutely right, though. When you're on a holiday, I mean,
Mhm.
so you're going to spend 2 hours and have a siesta, in the afternoon if it's too hot. But yeah, when you're at home, you still have to go to work and do some of those kind of things. So then
So
the heat does.
what's your favorite number, Anita?
My favorite number, I'm going to
Mhm.
have to say number 8.
So I'm just doing something a little differently. I was inspired to choose the 8th card from each deck.
Okay. Well, there you go. And again, we might also bring some awareness to guidance from spirit. So once a month, also we do a we do an intimate group, 8 people, and Cheryl is the vessel or the channel, and you have an opportunity to be guided from spirit. And that could be asking a personal question. Um, there's all kinds of insight that we can get from tuning into that unseen energy.
Mhm.
Some people will call it God, some people call it Buddha, some people call
Creator.
it source energy, creator, the universe. We're always connected, right? So there's a conduit of energy. So yeah, you could join us for guidance from spirit
Mhm. Got one
coming up
coming up in July. I think
coming
it's the
up in July.
24th, but don't quote me on that. So
Yeah.
I find this quite entertaining. So the 8th
Okay.
card in each of the 3 decks for Anita
Mm-hmm.
are right here. So we have knowledge and self-cultivation.
Mm-hmm.
We have closets, drawers, and cupboards. And we have flowers. So I
Okay.
find this very entertaining because if you've watched any of our past episodes, you will know that in Anita's past life, this lifetime, but past life, she had a flower shop. And
Mm-hmm.
recently we just did a 21-day decluttering challenge and she focused on her closets and drawers, cupboards. So I find this quite entertaining, to be perfectly
It is.
honest. But it's where the energy is, right?
Right.
So I'm going to go low number to high number and start with the flowers.
Okay.
Now, flowers for Anita were an outlet, creative juices. And what I'm hearing in all of this is that her creativity is in need of a little bit of nurturing. So at one point in time, she spoke about when people would always comment that her flowers always lasted longer. And that is because, from what I understand, and her stories, she would take the water that the flowers would be placed in, but she would bless that water. And she would stir that water with the intention of blessing the water, bringing forth the highest good for the plants and the flowers. A little bit of stirring and a little bit of nurturing to grow her inner is what I'm hearing in all of this. Some time for
Okay.
herself, fulfilling, bringing in that creativity. Yeah, just stirring and getting that going again in her inner world to bring out her creativities, because flowers really represent her creativity.
Yeah.
Now, the closet, drawers, and cabinets, I said cupboards, so I correct myself, is the 39 card, which is a 12, which is a 3. So we're not going to talk about the number 3, but I'm just going to pose that in there. But the closet and drawers and cupboards, a lot of this got stirred up. The water stirring and stuff, and the motion is still coming in for me on this card. And a lot of things got stirred up in this 21-day decluttering challenge, because when Anita and I teach a class or we do a challenge like this, we're also participating. So a lot of things came to the surface and got stirred up and are being released in all of this energy. I keep getting my hands going, and sometimes spirit is doing all this work for me. This is continuing. So there's a little bit of a, let me rephrase that. There's a continuous ripple effect going out from the decluttering in those areas that Anita has done. And there's still some more to be releasing. It's not so much about the clothing as it is about the energy that was stirred up and brought to the surface. You're going to see that not just in Anita's inner world, but a lot of our world, our universe, our global communities right now. There's a lot of stuff being brought to the surface. There's a lot that is being stirred up, and it's time to release and let go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Cheryl. So true.
So now the knowledge and self-cultivation is the third card that came up. And when we talk in Feng Shui, the knowledge and self-cultivation area, when you're entering into your space, is immediately to your left. Anita's front entrance is in partially her knowledge and self-cultivation area. It's actually, but I'm sure she's supported it outside. She's got a beautiful deck and some stairs, and this is where some of her creativity goes, into her garden and her plants and her flowers there. But it's also a time of doing some of this nurturing in her inner world, self-cultivating what's going on in her heart, getting that rooted is what the words I'm hearing. Like you would a plant, you prepare the soil, you prepare what you want, you kind of have an idea in your mind of where direction you want to take things in. It's getting that groundwork done right now. That's the inner world work for Anita.
And you know, again, the message is there are no coinkydings, and absolutely. You know, just this morning I was thinking about the creativity and the joy that I feel, you know, out in nature, and just being able to ground myself and to spend more time nurturing me, right? Those were some of the thoughts that I had this morning, and voila, here they come.
Now you've got the confirmation about that direction.
Exactly. And so that's how things work, right? We're always receiving messages, and it's up to us to pay attention to them and take those steps and act on them, whatever it is. So yeah, I just, I love it. Love it. Excellent. So you know what? If you want to have a Feng Shui card reading, we could do it privately too.
Of course.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
You can reach out to either Cheryl or I. Actually, before the pause, when we were doing some live, what were they, like trade shows?
Trade shows, different events.
Yeah. We actually would offer a 30-minute Feng Shui card reading. and lots of beautiful, beautiful insight to share with people.
Exactly.
And yeah, I actually remember one of the people that, in one of those events, this woman, did the 3-card spread for her, and we were talking about, and it came up. I can't remember if it was love and relationship and then bedroom or something. I don't know, something like that. And so, the information that I was getting was that her intimate relationship, there was, something going on there, and maybe her and her partner were sleeping in separate rooms, or I don't know, it was something like that. And and she was like, oh my gosh, she said, I've been in this relationship, and they've been, both of them had their own home, and it was kind of like they were sure if they should meld the homes or so she was blown away. Anyways, I think a lot of people were too, that one just kind of came to mind. But anyways,
it's always very interesting. It is.
Yeah.
And it is fun. What can I say? Spirit has a way of talking and communicating with us, and when you're open and receptive to it, the information comes in. For many people, they'll hear it. Some will see it, some will get pictures, some will smell it. We use all of our senses. So it's quite fascinating, and the cards are basically a tool.
Yep.
Right. That's what they are. They give us a jumping off point.
Right. And it's no different than, our regular Feng Shui Fridays, when we just choose one card from the deck. How many times is that a timely message for
every time?
Right? Exactly. So it's that same sort of thing. So again, today has been more about really honoring and being aware of the inner world. Be aware of how you feel. Absolutely. Be aware of your thoughts, and in relationship to your environment, whether it's the outdoor environment, whether it's your home environment, whether it's your work environment.
Office.
Just take the time today to just be aware of your inner world and how you are responding or reacting in those situations, right? And just see what comes up. Just some awareness.
It was interesting because I won't say the person's name, but we did the 21-day decluttering challenge, and the one participant came back and was like, you know what? There is more joy in our relationship.
Yes.
And that for her was such a huge inner world awareness.
And that was the result.
And that was the result of some of the decluttering that she was doing. So it's so cool to see how what we do in the outer world, in our physical environment, how it comes back and is reflected in our inner world.
Yeah.
So
very cool. And again, you know what, that joy, right? That joyful expression, that's part of that creativity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So cool.
Yay.
Oh, and we got a wave.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Mindy's waving at us.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Is this Mindy Barrett waving at us?
This is Mindy Barrett waving at us.
Well, if you haven't checked out our interview with Mindy Barrett on our Flock YouTube channel, you definitely want to, because this woman has designed her life beautifully. She lives in Hawaii and she lives in North Carolina, and she is back and forth. She's able to work with her children. She's able to be with her parents. She's a guardian of others. Incredibly loving person. And she's got businesses on the go. So if you need a little inspiration on how to design your life, you got to watch that interview.
Absolutely. So
and where do they see that?
they go to theflawc.com, the flock.
Block.
Mhm.
Woohoo!
Our channel, our YouTube channel. And yeah, so you know what? We're already past our, time, of course.
Of course.
Of course. So we're going to dance our way
Way
out.
out.
As you sing in your head. And thanks for joining us. Feng Shui Friday, learning
Woo.
to use the F word. We'll see you next week on our new time slot, 9:30 a.m. Oh, look at I did shave my undies just because I knew I'd be doing this. Just so you know, they're not all furred up.
Okay, a little more information than necessary. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining.